it's Malik the Freak here, and today I want to talk about the new God of War Faye trailer. And honestly, I'm pretty disappointed. Now, before I start throwing labels at me, before people start throwing labels at me, like let's just make one thing clear. Like, just because I don't like this trailer doesn't mean I hate women or hate female protagonists. Some of my favorite games ever have, female protagonist leads. Like, I love the games like Last of Us Part 2, and I enjoy playing characters like Chloe in Uncharted Lost Legacy. I think Lost Legacy is much better than, Uncharted 4. That's just my opinion. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't hate playing as women. I'm not saying that women bad and men good. This is specifically about God of War, because when I think about God of War, I think of Kratos. You know what I'm saying? And many people feel the same way. Like, whenever somebody says God of War, you have a fucking ashen skinned guy with a red tattoo across his head. So this isn't about, you know, uh, I hate the fact that they have replaced Kratos with the woman character. This is about they have replaced Kratos. I don't care if they have replaced it with anybody else. Listen, I was keen for Atreus game, like, but to be honest, like, I didn't want him to become like, God of War or something. I thought it was gonna be a separate series. I thought it was gonna be called like God of War Mischief or some shit, like God of Mischief or some shit. Like, they could have done the same thing here. Like, my problem with this game is that it is called God of War lauffay. So I just hate like what they have done here, and I just feel like God of War series is nothing without Kratos. You know what I'm saying? And that's the character that built this franchise. And honestly, part of me is disappointed is that this game took years to make, and now we are probably gonna wait another like 6 to 7 years before we see a brand new Kratos game. I mean, this game has been in development since 2018 or 2019, some shit. So it took them 7 years to make this game, and they are now working on the God of War 1, 2, and 3 remake. So that means before we get another Kratos game, we're gonna have to wait another 6 to 7 years. By the time the Kratos saga is over, like, I'm gonna be like 50 years old, and I feel like this game is just gonna suffer the Stranger Things fate. If you have watched Stranger Things season 5, you know how fucking terrible it is. And my theory is this: the reason why most of these shows start to fail when it comes to their final, series or final season is because they push it too far and they push it too further. So I feel like there's gonna be the same fate. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just gonna keep on going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're gonna make 6, 7 more games. Like, and if you think this Faye game is only a one-time game, you're dead wrong, bro. They're gonna make a trilogy out of this shit. They're gonna make 2 or 3 different games out of this character, and then they're gonna make the fucking Atreus game. And a lot of people like to argue the fact that there's a finality to Kratos' arc. I absolutely disagree. Like, I don't agree with that one bit, because I feel like Kratos' arc is just starting. You know what I'm saying? So far, we have seen that Kratos Kratos go on a revenge arc. So far, we have seen him being angry. We have seen him being vengeful. And we have also seen the other side where he's raising his son. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's just trying to improve himself, just trying to make himself a better person. And now we see him in a position of power again. You know what I'm saying? But this time he's a totally different man than what he used to be back in the days. So I feel like his arc is just starting. Like, and I wanted to see more from Kratos. Like, I feel like Kratos' journey is gonna get very, very hard from here on out. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to deal with different gods. He's gonna have to deal with different problems as a new person, not as a person who he used to be back in the days, where he could just rip somebody's head off and deal with that shit like there. But yeah, I mean, but we're not gonna see that in a very long time. But the real reason this hurts so bad is Kratos is a huge part of my childhood. My first console that I ever started playing on was PlayStation 3. I grew up playing games like the Greek Saga, so for me this feels like I hate Faye, and more like I'm struggling to accept the fact that Kratos may no longer be the center of this series. I mean, the combat looks fire. Like, if you look at the combat, I love the smooth movements, but I wanted this for Kratos. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the moves that Kratos used to do back in the days, and you compare them with Kratos now, like the ones in 2018 and Ragnarok, it seems like Kratos is a shell of himself. So my like I do like the combat, but another part of me that is disappointed is this. I wanted this from Kratos, like, you know what I'm saying, but man, this is shitty. Like I I don't know what to say. Like, now with that said, I also just never found Faye that interesting as a character. You know what I'm saying? We saw her in. I was really interested in her in 2018, but when I saw her in Ragnarok, for some reason, like, all my appeal for this character went away. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, there was mystery around this woman, and when we started playing Ragnarok, it was just not there anymore. So, and she just came off as like I don't want to say it, but let's just, even in Ragnarok, she never grabbed me emotionally the way Kratos did. You know what I'm saying? But my biggest issue isn't that my biggest issue isn't even Faye herself. It's the tone, the real problem with the modern God of War games. If you go back and play the great games, those games had brutal mythological atmosphere. Everything felt larger than life. The gods felt terrifying. The world felt dangerous. But the newer games sometimes feel way too lighthearted for me. And Ragnarok especially pushed it further. Like, bro, like, do you guys remember the time where Odin referred to Freya as his ex? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some of the dialogues feel like overtly modern, like over casual, and honestly like little too Marvel or Disney in tone compared to the older God of War games. You know what I'm saying? Like, older God of War games, like Kratos was fucking ripping heads off and all of that shit. Like, there was a dark, mysterious tone, and the music was much more heavier. The choir. So right now it's just all like lovey-dovey shit. I hate this, man. I hate this so much. But yeah, like, I mean, and because of that, the darker identity of the franchise starts feeling like watered down. And it started happening with Ragnarok. I feel like 2018 wasn't that much. When we met Atreus, I thought he was a little bit too childish. And before you start saying that Atreus is a child, I get it. I honestly get it that he's a child, but let's not forget he's a child of Kratos. So I don't fucking know, like, how to explain it any other way. And yeah, man, like, the one thing I really hate is that the whole tonality of the game. And later on, we're also gonna see, like, some fucking cube named Frank. Like that is even more insane. Like, and yeah, just give me a second here, 1 second. All right, enough about all of that. Now let's talk about the trailer itself. One thing I immediately noticed was the movement. Faye can double jump. Yeah, Faye can double jump. Not only can she Faye can double jump. We didn't have jumping in God of War 2018, and we didn't have it in, Ragnarok, and that annoyed me. That honestly annoyed me, because when God of War 2018 removed jumping, I accepted it because I thought Santa Monica was going for a more grounded and more realistic combat style. Kratos couldn't jump anymore, so I assumed that was just the new direction. But now suddenly, Faye can double jump. So my question is, why remove movement option from Kratos but give them to Faye? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you nerf Kratos and buff Faye? Like, I don't even give a fuck if she can double jump. My question is, why can't Kratos do it? It is so silly. Like, Kratos can't even jump from one place to another without having a QTE. At one point in Ragnarok, even Atreus made fun of it. He was like, "Oh, surely you can jump that. Surely your fucking knees are not that bad." So, like, it's the whole thing is like kind of like wacky. Like, I don't understand this. Like, I get it. Like, they're trying to introduce a new mechanic for a new game, and they're like, hey, look, people, we're introducing a new mechanic, you should be excited. You're not introducing a new mechanic, you're just introducing a mechanic that already existed, and you just remove that mechanic from a previous character. Like, so it's just, the whole thing is just like, I don't know, like, it's just like mildly irritating, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, holy shit, look at these fucking guys, like, look at their designs, like, I love their weapons, bro. And yeah, she looks hot too. But anyways, let's get back to it. So my question is, why remove movements from option from Kratos but give them to Faye? Because imagine how much more dynamic and Ragnarok's combat could have been if Kratos had proper jumping mechanics. Now another thing that disappointed me was the trailer structure itself. They advertised this as a big gameplay reveal. Most of it was cutscenes. Most of it was cutscenes, dialogues, or slow walking sections. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had this argument with other people before, but I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to make a statement right here, right now, and I will stick by the statement until the day I am dead. Games should be games, and movies should be movies. Games should be games, and movies should be movies. And I'm not saying that you cannot tell a story in a game, but it should feel like a game, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't feel like you're watching a fucking movie, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, look at Ghost of Tsushima, look at many other different fucking, you know, games that have done this, that have told a great fucking story despite, uh, you know, having like a lot of story elements. Like, they would still tell a great story, but it would still feel like a video game. Like, it wouldn't feel like you're playing an interactive movie. Anyway, give me a second. Let me just drink some water. And I'm back. So my biggest frustration with the modern God of War games is that just long fucking cutscenes, just extremely long cutscenes, just long fucking walking and talking sections, just riding the boat and talking sections, just it's just I don't know like how to say this, but I feel like they need to make a different category for video games if they're gonna make video games like this. They need to let you know, like, hey, this is an interactive movie, then it is a video game. You know what I'm saying? So people know what they're paying for. And I'm gonna stick by this 100%. Like, I am gonna stick by this 100%. Games should be games, and movies should be movies. You can have some aspects of movies in a video game, but some, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have the fucking 5 minute long cutscenes. To me, a video game is a interactive, continuous player control. Continuous player control. But when you have, mountain climbing sections which you can't even feel, which you have to, press fucking QTEs to go up from, when you're doing fucking chores, when you're walking around feeding animals, to me that breaks the immersion, and the pacing is just shitty. Just make it a cutscene. And this is such a simple problem to solve. Just make it a cutscene. Why do you insist on having this fucking stupid no cut camera? Like, it doesn't work. It just does not work. Like, it's shitty, bro. Like, it's so fucking crap. Nobody asked for this. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going on a tangent again. They... God of War 2018 already had like pretty limited enemy variety, but Ragnarok pushes the cinematic approach, even harder. And I know that this is going to be controversial, but I genuinely think the no-cut camera became one of the biggest problems in the modern gaming. I mean, I have not seen any other game do it except for the God of War 2018. In 2018, it worked because the story was intimate and focused. You know what I'm saying? It really made you feel close to Kratos and Atreus, when they were like, building their relationship. But in Ragnarok, like it just totally nerfed the game, especially with the mountain climbing and the whole fucking Angrboda and phase and Angrboda and Atreus section. Like, you cannot look me in the eye and tell me that fucking Ironwood section was good. And if you do, you're not a gamer, bro. I'm sorry. You're just not a gamer. You should watch movies. You shouldn't even pay $100 for fucking playing video games. You should just watch a YouTube video on a fucking video game. Like, straight up. Like, I feel like they should just make it illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you advertise a game as a game, it should be a game. But yeah. I mean, Ironwood. I don't even know how to fucking. I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it any further than that. But now, visually speaking, I actually think this game looks good overall. And no, I don't think Faye is ugly. Like, there's this whole thing going on Twitter where, everybody's saying the Faye is ugly and this and that. I think she looks beautiful. My issue is more with the character design itself than Faye. You know what I'm saying? When you look at characters like, Kratos, Thor, Zeus, Athena, Hades, they instantly feel mythological. They look iconic. Faye, on the other hand, just looks like a normal woman to me. I wish her design felt more mystical or godlike. Maybe like armor customization or different appearance could help that. Now, one thing I do like is some of the newer God of War designs we saw. Like characters like Sekhmet we just saw earlier and the Mongolian god actually feel mythological and, visually unique, which is something I felt Norse Saga was missing, majority of the time. Like, I mean, look at fucking Odin, bro. Like, he's balding. Like, he has a bald spot in the middle of this fucking head. Like, why are you subjecting these gods to like normal human problems? Like, what does he need some fucking minoxidil? Like it's so silly, man. Like, I don't like that. Like, but a lot of, I'm really liking the fact that they're going in a mythological way. I really like the designs of two characters, Sekhmet, and I think the other one is called Bexia. Now, even though it's gonna sound hypocritical, what I'm gonna say, even though I do like the designs of those two characters, Bexia kind of looks like fucking. He kind of looks like he has Down syndrome. Like, he looks like Ares with Down syndrome. Like, his face low-key looks weird, and his voice sounds, I don't know, cringy. Like, it seems like he's trying too hard to sound like a villain-like entity. But, yeah. Yeah, speaking of designs, look at Kratos right now. You cannot tell me that Kratos doesn't look like he's on Ozempic. Like, he looks weird. Like, Kratos looks fucking weird, bro. I don't know. Like, man, yeah. But anyway, so credit where credit is due. And despite all my criticism, I still think the combat looks solid. I still think the game could end up being fun. I still have hopes that the final product looks and plays better at launch. I'm disappointed because I miss the old identity of God of War, the darker tone, the heavier gameplay focus, the larger-than-life brutality. That's what made me fall in love with the franchise in the first place. But at the end of the day, it's just a video game. People are going to like different things, and that's totally fine. These are just my opinion. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, guys. And yeah, this new weapon that we are seeing right now, the one with the ribbons, this weapon kind of looks cool. I have a theory about this game. Like, I have two different theories about this game, which I am working on. Number one is that I think this game is a Souls-like. Number second, that I don't want to spoil that one. I'm still writing the script for that one. But the combat section, looks good. I didn't like the QTE. Like, I wish they showed us how the spell works. You know what I'm saying? But I truly believe that this game is going to look much better at launch. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but when they first showed God of War 2018, and when the God of War 2018 actually came out, the combat was like totally different. Like, it was significantly better. But anyways, I'm still gonna play this game because I feel like no matter what they do at Santa Monica Studio, like, they're never gonna make me not play a God of War game. Because God of War is a huge part of my identity, bro. Like, God of War was my introduction to PlayStation games. That was like the first PlayStation game I had ever played. I remember my dad was living in Budapest at that time, and he sent me a PlayStation 3. I come from like a middle class area, so like we weren't very rich. Like people couldn't afford like all of these things. But that was like the happiest day of my life, the day I received the PlayStation 3. And with that PlayStation 3 came God of War. And I played God of War Ascension, I played God of War 3. And I fell in love with it, bro. Like at one point, I had gotten myself a Kratos tattoo. So, again, I am not a fucking hater. Like, I'm not a hater. It's just I am mourning the fact that Kratos is no longer here. And that there's another person who has taken over Kratos. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, a lot of people were disappointed that they were not playing as John. You know what I'm saying? Because they were, but like again, what happened when they played Red Dead Redemption 2? They were like, "Holy shit!" Like the gameplay is so good. This character is so good. Eventually, they were like, "Hey, we don't want to play as John anymore. We want to play as Arthur." You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there is some saving grace in this game. What they can do is that they can make this game so good that people don't have any other choice but to like this game. And another thing I just noticed right now, I'm gonna rewind that a little bit. So if you just look at this for a second, right? Like he's gonna throw her in the air, like boom. So she's in the air right now. Holy shit, she got cake, bro. Holy freaking shit. Hey Kratos, you're a lucky motherfucker, bro. Anyways, so he throws her in the air, and I feel like this is some sort of a input rate. So every time your player character is gonna get launched in the air, this guy's gonna do a grab attack, because I don't think that grab attack was a follow up from that move. I think that only happens if she's in the air. So check this out. He sends her in the air and he's gonna grab her. Boom. I hate the AI companions, bro. Like, what? Just remove the fucking AI companions. Like, why don't you just remove them? Like, his design is cool though. I want to learn more about Perry. No, as you can see, like she just performed a parry on this guy, and one thing I have noticed is that the moment he gets parried, he gets stunned. I really hope that's not the case. I hope they do something similar to Sekiro, where you get like consecutive parries before you can break them. You know what I'm saying? Like one parry, two parry, three parry. Like I really hope it's not that you just parry them and then you just get to unload a combo. Like I feel like they need to make this game mechanically harder by giving you much more of a significant challenge where they can attack you a few times before you are able to parry. Alright, now this is cool. She threw that ribbon at his face and then she closed the distance. One thing I really love in video games is a closing moves, when you're like further away from your enemy but then you get to close the distance. I always love them. So this one was cool. I wonder if there's different stances, because like I don't know if you guys remember, like this felt like a light attack. I could be wrong. I have not played the game yet, but I feel like there are different stances to this sword, and I feel like we're gonna get new weapons. Now, remember when I told you guys I think this game is a Souls like? Well, I have a theory, but I feel like there's different stances to this weapon. I feel like this weapon is going to be the main weapon, but earlier when she attacked, she was just using like the sword like itself, but now she's using ribbons as the fucking like as a weapon. So I think there's gonna be different stances for this weapon. Holy shit, that guy can jump, bro. That guy can fucking jump. I wish we learned more about this guy. Hopefully he doesn't die like here. Cool, 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 cool. And there's that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. And one more thing that I totally forgot to mention throughout this whole video is that I think the other gods are gonna return. Like Ares and Zeus. And my big fear for this game is that eventually death is not gonna have any meaning at all. Like death is no longer a big deal because gods just return. Like, I mean, Kratos has done it like 3 or 4 times. But yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, guys. Malik the Freak signing out.